Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first of hopefully not too many movie re-reviews here on the channel. Today, I am going to re-review Superman 2025, both written and directed by James Gunn. Now, has my opinion changed on the movie? Absolutely not. I am still a huge fan of supporter of this movie. I still think it is a great movie. But with that being said, let me give you my full-fledged thoughts on the movie. And the reason why I'm giving you guys a re-review of this movie, because when I first did a reviewed this movie, I didn't do it properly. So I'm giving you a full video where I talk about what I loved about the movie and what I didn't like about the movie. So let's get started. I love the writing, the story, as well as the storytelling in this movie. I like that this movie took inspiration from several of the most highly regarded Superman comics of all time, including my personal favorite, Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's All-Star Superman from 2005. The CGI visuals and special effects, in my opinion, were top-notch. The action was pretty damn good. I actually liked the action in this movie a bit more than the action in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel from 2013, by being brutally honest. The score composed by, let me look it up again. Hold on. I am so sorry, everyone. By John Murphy and Dan Fleming was outstanding. The score, especially the theme for David Cornsweat's Superman. I love that it's pretty much an honor and tribute to the John Williams theme for Christopher Reeve's Superman during the 70s and 80s. I thought James Gunn's directing and vision in this movie was outstanding. I loved how he not only showed a lot of love and respect to the Superman character, but that he showed a lot of understanding to the Superman character, which I'll elaborate more as I talk about my thoughts, my full-fledged thoughts of this movie. I thought the acting overall was tremendous. Nicholas Hoult, I thought, was an excellent iteration of Lex Luthor, one of the best live-action versions of the character I've ever seen, and arguably the best live-action movie version of the character that I've seen since the late Gene Hackman. I'm being brutally honest. Rachel Brosnahan, I thought, not only looked great as Lois Lane, but played the role extremely well. Skylar, what's his name? Hold on. Skylar Gisondo, I thought was an excellent Jimmy Olsen. Wendell Pierce, I thought, was a great Perry White. I thought the other characters in the movie was pretty good, like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, he was outstanding. Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho was outstanding. I thought, other than Mr. Terrific, I thought he was the best character from the Justice Gang side of things. Isabella Merced, she's probably, of all the Justice Gang members, the one that I pretty much like the least. She looked good, especially in action, but in terms of her character, I really didn't care much about her. Nathan Fillion, I said again, was a good Guy Gardner. But of course, Nicholas Hoult as Superman, he does a tremendous job. He not only does a really good job at honoring and representing the source material, but he also does a really good job making his version of Superman his own. I love the charisma, the enthusiasm, more importantly, the emotion he brought to this character. I liked it. And I know a lot of people over time have given this man's costume crap. I personally like his costume very much, with the exception of the collar. I'm not crazy about the collar. Never was, especially when it came to the new 52 Superman costume. Never was crazy about the collar. What I didn't like about the film was all the actors that played the Kents. They did a good job. Even though some people didn't like their southern accent, I thought they played the roles very well, in my opinion. As for, the whole thing of Bradley Cooper playing Jor-El in this movie, I thought he did a good job. However, the whole thing of him and the actor that played Superman's biological mom wanting him to take over the earth and, repopulate with multiple women, I thought was crazy, wild, but at the same time, I am somewhat interested in where this goes. Yeah, I'm not exactly the biggest fan or supporter of it, but I am interested in seeing where it goes. I do agree there were a bit too many subplots for my liking. It didn't take me out of the story at all, but I didn't like the fact that there were a bit too many subplots in the movie. Especially the ones with the genetic super monkeys calling Superman hashtag super shit on social media. I thought that was pretty stupid. Even though I overall liked the humor, the comedy, and comedic elements in this movie, there were certain parts where I thought the comedy fell flat or felt a bit stupid, too stupid for my liking. Crypto was good. Granted, I think they went a little bit overboard with him being a quote unquote wild, a little crazy dog in this movie, but you know, it is what it is. With that being said, this movie is excellent in my opinion. I thought this is easily one of the best, not only one of the best live action Superman movies, but one of the best movie adaptations of Superman that I've ever seen. I think it's not only the best modern Superman movie of all time, but more importantly, the best live action Superman movie since the first two Donnerverse Superman films with Christopher Reeve. I am going to officially give this movie a 9 out of 10 and an A. We're just pretty much a 90%. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed this re-review. And hopefully there's not too much of these. Also, stay tuned for a bit later tonight. I am going to do a personal ranking of all 8 live-action Superman movies. So stay tuned, everybody. Peace out.